Oh, watch this one. Watch this one. Yeah! You see that? You see all the power? That's not even on film. We didn't even get that. We didn't even capture that one. Are you ready to go? All right. Let's do it then. CEO Ronald Hickman from Creating the Difference. Today, we're going to talk about the new Storm Lightning Blackout. Lightning Blackout features the REX Pearl reactive cover stock. You know Storm has all the bowling balls that have the best smell. This was one of my favorites. It's Cherry Delight. It scans at 6,000 grit, but it's finished with Storm Reactor Gloss. Check the hardness. The hardness was 75. Check the absorption rate. It's medium for this bowling ball. It features the Warp AI core. Now, here's the thing. AI is something that Storm's really been pushing a lot lately. Storm, if you're watching this video, man, you need to send me one of these cores. I like to look at it, maybe do a deep dive on the Warp AI core or just the AI technology in general. The ball is a symmetric ball. It's got a high RG of 2.53, but a low differential of 0.029, which is interesting because that's kind of in those numbers that typically are in a lower price point, but you see a lot of usable performance. So I'm going to be curious to see how this ball rolls from that standpoint. The layout is 60 by 4.5 by 30, and we're going to make our blackout video a little bit different than everybody else's blackout video because our blackout video is going to be done in the dark, blacked out. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, bowling on a standard house shot here. Let's see how this ball rolls. That wasn't too bad. We'll get you guys a tracer line too. We want to get a little tracer line out there so you can kind of see. Gotta wipe this ball off. You should wipe off your ball anytime. Like anytime you get a bowling ball, wipe it off before you throw your next shot. Go watch your pro. Your favorite pro, he does that. You should do it too. Don't do me like that. First off, you didn't put the tracer line on there. And then second off, you're gonna leave me a blower 710. That ain't no fun. You know what, let's shoot that. Let's shoot the 710. Normally I wouldn't do that. I'm not gonna do it with the blackout because that's not fair. In case it goes in the gutter or something crazy. But I will grab a ball and we will shoot the 710 because you never know. You never know what can happen. Now, here's a little tip for you though. If you're gonna shoot the 710 and you're on the Brunswick A2s like we are, I wanna shoot the 10 pin. Why is that? Why does it matter? Here's why. So the board that is attached to the ball return on the right side is actually a little more rigid than on the left side. That's just kind of how it has to be because of the way it's built. So because of that, it's more likely for me to bounce it out if I shoot the 10 pin than if I shoot the 7 pin. And I didn't make it anyway, but that's how that goes. Anyway. All right, so I didn't really like that reaction. That wasn't cool, but that's okay. It's still pretty early. Ooh, that looked good. That looked good. Definitely a better shape there. Man, leave us a comment too. Let us know what your favorite ball from Storm is. I want to know what your favorite Storm ball all time is. Oh, money. Nah, I like that shot. Okay, so it's one board in here and two boards left. So it didn't have the same angle. It was definitely left. But I actually like that shot off my hand. I go, that's coming back. That's going to be 10 back. And it was not. It was 6. All right. I mean, that's good to know because that tells me something. That tells me that, first off, you got to be a little better at repeating the shot. But more importantly, like, you may not have room to the left like that. Ooh, that was good. That was good. Same break point. Strike. So it's not super angular by any means. It's definitely more continuous, which is usable and which is good. What I'm curious to see is as I use this ball, especially kind of like right there now, that seems to be a good spot. What ends up happening, we put a little surface on this cover. It's kind of interesting to see what'll happen there. That's in just a little bit, and I 6-pin. So I don't have a lot of room for error. So I can strike, but you gotta be throwing it consistently. You gotta be throwing it in a real tight window, similar launch angles, yada, 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 if you wanna be able to get 10 back. What that tells me is that with what I'm bowling on and right now, we'll need to make a little bit of an adjustment to the shell, just because you should be able to have some room for error. Like that'll probably strike, but I don't have a lot of room. Like I just don't have a lot of room for error. So we'll throw some more shots here. I could also slow it down. If I slow it down a little bit, that also would probably help a little bit. Because you're gonna need room one way or the other. You're gonna need the room to the outside part, which is drier, or hold, which is the inside part. But you're gonna need it one way or another. This right now seems like the shell just needs the surface just broken just a little bit, that's all. See, I mean, that's what I mean. So I mean, just a little bit off and it's 6-pin. So this is good. This is good though, because I can show you how to fix that. I can show you how to fix that. Ugh. And then it's the wrap, this wrap 7. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it hold a few shots on here. And then that way we can talk about what these shots mean and what we're doing. So we're cleared off. Hold some shots. Kind of talk a little bit about what that means. Right here. Okay, so that's a good shot. That's a strike. You're doing all the right things. But as I've kind of shown you, I don't have a lot of room for error quite yet. And that's really what I want to fix. I want to address that problem. So that time I tripped the 6. And it was one board in, all the way down the lane. So same launch angle, just one board in, trip 6. Okay. Now we're one board left, and we 3-7-9. So what that means is I don't have the appropriate reaction for what we're bowling on, how I throw the ball in the environment. It's just not the right reaction. So what I'm gonna do is I'm now going to sand the ball. And by sanding the ball, we're gonna be able to address that issue right there. That is a telltale sign, by the way, that 3-7-9, and I only missed by a board left, that you don't have the right shape. So I would like to get the Reacta gloss off of there, but I don't want to go too aggressive. So I'm going to go with a 3000 grit pad. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow me to just get that Reacta gloss off. We call that cracking the surface. We call that just kind of getting the polish off the ball. And you say, why is that important? And I say in this particular case is because I should be able to make that miss that I just showed you there, and I should be able to strike. I don't really want to like dull the ball a whole lot. I just want to get the polish off. Plus, it's also easier. Let's say you do this and then it's not enough. Okay, well, fine. Then we'll go get a lower grit and put more aggressive finish on it. But you're not going to be able to do that as easy. I mean, obviously you could polish the ball back up, but this is just way easier to take it down than it is to bring it back up. All right, so now it's not as pretty. And some people may be like, man, it's not as shiny as anymore. Yeah, but at the end of the day, one, it still smells like Cherry Delight, so it smells great. And then two, we're not here necessarily for how it looks. We're here for how it rolls. So there, you can see now that that surface is knocked off. We'll see if we've kind of addressed this issue, the issue of just not a lot of room for error. Now, I can't stay in the exact same spot because if I do, it's going to go high. So I'm going to go 2 more to the right. And the first shot's going to hook a little bit more than the rest of them because the ball needs a little bit of oil on it. But that's okay. Six pin. Easy adjustment. And we'll then be able to find out if we have in fact created some room for error. So I'm actually not going to move because that first shot kind of overhooks because it was fresh surface. So I think if I repeat that shot, it'll probably be fine now. Here she comes to save the day. Now, the biggest difference I saw there was more in the mid portion of the lane. That ball, it didn't over push. It started to pick up and I'm like, okay, that's a telltale sign that we're headed the right direction. Trouble for everybody now. And that's kind of what I mean. So really what this is telling me, the lower diff, that 029 diff, means you can use a little bit more surface and get away with creating more different shapes. So, you know, I remember watching a little bit on the TV show and Shota was throwing this ball and I was like, man, why is he throwing that ball? But now I kind of can understand why, because you could actually get a lot of versatility out of this particular piece because of the combination of the cover with the low diff. And what I mean by that is adjusting that surface, because it's such a low diff to begin with, can really have a pretty profound impact. Now I missed left there, but it doesn't matter now. See, that's the whole difference. Literally, just adjusting the surface allows me to go from having this much area to hit to having this much area to hit, 379, right? Versus still miss right and it still strikes. So completely different shape now. And that was just hitting it with 3000 grit. Just getting that, the polish off and allowing that cover to really, really come through. Yeah, it's over. It's over now. It truly is blacked out. So speaking of blackout, you ever been through a blackout? Like, I don't know if you have, but I was through when we had a tornado come through our area like 3 months ago, and it did black out everything. And I'm gonna tell you, that was not fun. It was not fun. Not having power for a week, not fun. But throwing this ball with a little bit of surface is a whole lot of fun. So you can see it. You can see there's definitely a change in the shape. Maybe you can't see it. Maybe I need to cut the lights on. For those of them in the back, the traditionalists that need to see the lights, we'll cut them on for a shot for you too, just so you can see. In the light or in the dark, it's blackout. It's blackout all day. Blackout all day. So that really is the difference, right? You can see, and that's a thing that you should take note of too. Like, it's important to understand how to adjust the surface because that can make a bowling ball that doesn't roll so great for you start rolling really good. And you say, well, how often would you need to do this? I'd say every 3-6 games, hit it again with 3000 grit. Just keep that surface nice and fresh on the ball. Ooh, ring and 7 pin. Ring 7 pin. But the shape is completely different. I don't have the overpush through the mid. I have a nice, strong, continuous shape throughout the trajectory of the ball. And Yeah, definitely liking the way this looks now. Liking the way it looks. There it is, man. Storm, lightning, blackout. Go to our website, CTD Bowling, pick up one of these bowling balls. Not a member of our staff, join our staff. It's free to get on. And also, if you do buy the ball from us, you get a free sanding pad. So, as you saw me adjust the surface of the ball, you can do it too. Anyway, on behalf of Creating the Difference, I am CEO Ronald Hicklin. Talk to you soon.